Well, I've picked a perfectly lovely spot here in Lincolnshire. It's a hill overlooking a wonderful view with a sort of a patchwork of varied greens and blues and ochres. And I've decided to put a wheelbarrow in for some odd reason, but I like having foreground objects. So let's first, we're going to start with a contour drawing and using a single line, and I'll start with my wheelbarrow. And back and get the angle. I'm trying to get as much variety in the greens as I can. Let's see, the ultramarine violet with a yellow here, yellow ochre. That's a little bit less bright. I have Julie posing for me this morning, and she's a very experienced model and an excellent model, and I've suggested to her that we'll have a reclining pose first and then a seated pose. So I'll do the drawing of the reclining pose, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do a seated pose. So let's get started here. Relatively large brush for this. This is a number 12. Now don't be afraid of your color. That's the main thing. That looks awfully dark now. And I think I might try a yellow ochre in here too. But this is all going to fade out. Now I can paint right out into my hair. Okay, let's try a little cerulean. Now I swirl my brush like so, and I can go into that figure a little bit. So you see the transition from warm to cool here. So I'm going to put this right down to the chin. All we have in here is the blue, cerulean, and some red. I try to keep everything connected as much as I possibly can. Julie's put her hair up for this pose. I've decided, I should have mentioned this, I decided to work from dark to light on this one. The first pose was, you notice I put in a first wash, which I sometimes do, and then other times I start with my shadow shapes. Okay, now I just want to, whenever you have a chance, try to, I think I mentioned earlier, but you always want connections. Okay, let's try to get a little color in the hip of the second pose to pull out this hip. That's about it, I think. That's kind of a nebulous tonal, I don't know, it even has a little green in it. It's not the color in a case like this, it's definitely the value that you have to fuss with. If it's a bit too dark, it'll look like it's really messy, it'll really be punching a hole in the figure. So I think I will stop there. Well, that was a lot of fun. I certainly enjoyed doing the figure, and it's actually my favorite subject, especially when I have such a wonderful model. And I hope that you'll try it. I know it seems very scary to do figure work, but probably the most important thing first is to understand the drawing procedure. If you learn to draw the figure, it'll be ever so much easier. The drawing is probably 80% of the whole business of figure drawing and figure painting. So anyway, good luck, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.